got me some new bathing Soldier boy up in the zone. Watch me crank and watch me roll. Watch me crank the soldier boy. That's super real. Watch me crank the soldier boy.
Hey people, what's up? I'm here to do my top 5 favorite Super Nintendo games. And now, this was the first real system I ever owned. Like, my brother had the Nintendo, and he had Atari, and, you know, I had a Game Boy before Super Nintendo, but that doesn't really count. But this was my first real system that was actually mine, and that all the games that were purchased were because I wanted the games, not because my brother wanted the games. So, I'm going to start off with number 5.
I'm jogging on your bitch.
And number 5 is a real obscure game. I doubt anybody ever had this game or heard of it, but once you see the cover, which you probably just saw of the box, absolutely ridiculous looking, but it's called Rival Turf. And this game is a straight up beat 'em up game. You know, before this game came out, the game that made this genre very popular was Final Fight. And there's also, you know, the X-Men arcade game, you know, the big machine with the six assigned characters, you know, that type of game where it's like you walk around and you beat people up. And the story, honestly, I don't even think there's a story. I don't even remember the story. I think it's like these two guys, and I think this gang comes and like kidnaps one of the guy's girlfriends. I believe. I could be wrong, but yeah, you basically play as either these two guys, and actually the two guys that you choose from look absolutely nothing like the two guys on the cover, so, which is extremely funny. But you know, it's a simple walk around beat 'em up game, and actually those games, you know, back in the day with the Super Nintendo and Nintendo, they were really hard because, you know, there wasn't any memory cards. So you basically had to start from level 1 all the way to, like, I think there was like 7 or 8 levels, and I think you had to share between 2 people 3 continues. I mean, what the hell? 3 continues? I mean, you know, you have to be amazing. I mean, you'd have to get hit like once, like every like level. It's really stupid, but you know, that was a fun game. It was actually the second game I ever bought, which I got at Walmart, and yeah, that was the second game I ever got, and it's a cool game. And if you know you have one of those online, you know, those online what do you call it? Those little programs that you can put on your computer where you can play with some Nintendo games. You know, if you can find one of those, look for that game. Classic. Number 4 is let me see, which is my number 4 because I'm looking at them on the computer. I'm probably gonna have to go with Turtles in Time. And this game is kind of like Final Fight. You know, it's a beat 'em up game based on the Ninja Turtles, and this game was a blast. I mean, I can remember all the times when I was like, I don't know, like 10, 12 years old, and just playing the hell out of this game. So fun. It's actually a lot easier than Rival Turf. Like, this game, like, they give you, I think, enough continues, and it's not super hard. And it's the Ninja Turtles. I mean, come on. I was obsessed with the Ninja Turtles back in the day, so I had to have this game. And unlike Ninja Turtles 1 for the Nintendo, which was impossible, this one is a lot more, you know, challenge friendly. And of course the Ninja Turtles, and it's the shit. It was great, and that's that. There's not really much more I can say, but it's a fun game. Always picked Leonardo because Leonardo was the greatest, and that's it. And number 3, I'm gonna have to go with Donkey Kong Country. Now, this game, you know, I was never really big into Donkey Kong, and then all of a sudden, like, they decided to make like a platforming game for the system, and I was like, whoa, you know, I thought it could be good. And then I remember being sent a videotape. I don't know how it got sent to me, but I got sent like a tape, which was like a preview of the game, and it was like kind of like a making of the game. And I remember every morning before I went to school, I would actually put it on and watch it and be super excited for when the game came out. And finally when it came out, I was like, wow, this game is incredible. And I actually am not sure why it's not number 2, but I guess I'll leave it at number 3. But great graphics. I mean, it's probably one of the best looking Super Nintendo games, period. Super fun. The music was excellent. I mean, amazing. And it's it was cool how it was kind of like Super Mario World, which I'll get to, where it's like there was like different levels. There's like this one like map, and there's like about 6 levels, and you pick, and you go to that one, and then you go to the next one, and you could always come back to the previous map. And it was such a great game, so fun. Music was great. Pretty, it was pretty not hard at all. It was pretty simple. And that's that. You should definitely pick up that game. Out of all the games, actually that should be the second game you pick up. But great game, and I'm sure you've played it. But that's my number 3. Why do I keep saying 2? It's number 3. Number 3. Now my number 2, I'm gonna have to go with a game that everybody loved and I'm sure everybody played, and it's Mortal Kombat 2. And I remember when the first one came out for Super Nintendo, everybody was upset. It was like, wait, the graphics look awesome, but there's no blood. I mean, I think this was the game that kind of brought up the whole, ratings for the games and kind of made, a big deal about it. And, I remember the Genesis version had the blood, but the graphics didn't look as good, and the Super Nintendo had the better graphics, but no blood. And that pissed me off. It was still good, but no blood. And then Part 2 came out, had like way more characters, and I remember in the arcade playing this like crazy. And I remember there was a comic book store that was near my house, and I remember I'd go there with my brother, and we'd always play. And I remember I'd play against these really big ass guys, and I'd beat them, and and I would always be scared because I'm like, I just beat this big guy, is he gonna beat me up? But that it was a great game. And I remember when it came out for Super Nintendo, it was like, it was intact. The graphics looked amazing, the blood was there, and it was just great all-around experience. I remember playing, when I got it, I played with my brother like every day. We'd have like these little mini tournaments, and it was so much fun. Great game. It was like the fighting game to get on Super Nintendo. I mean, there was Street Fighter 2, and then there was Mortal Kombat 2, and Mortal Kombat 2 was the one to get. And it was so much fun. It still holds up today. Great game, and they're still going strong with Mortal Kombat vs. DC, but that's a whole nother story. But that's my number 2. My number 1 game, and actually, not only is this my number 1 Super Nintendo game, this might actually be one of my favorite games ever. And it's Super Mario World. Not Super Mario Bros., Super Mario World with Yoshi. And this game was, this game made me want to get a Super Nintendo. I actually remember when I was like in 3rd grade, there was this girl in my class, and I'd always go to her birthday party, and I remember she had it. And I remember going to the party, and all of us were like sitting around just watching this game, and all of us were like so envious, like, God, she's so lucky, she has this system and she has this game. And I remember it was like 30 of us kids, and we were all just like waiting for our turn, and I finally had it, and I played it. When it was my turn, I was like, wow, this game is just as good as it looks. And I remember after going to her party, I would go to Service Merchandise, which no longer exists, and I'd go there every day and just play, and I'm like, man, I want this game so bad. And I finally got it, and I played the hell out of this game. Such a great game. Graphics were amazing. It's my favorite Super Mario Brothers. I think it's better than Part 3. The platforming, the maps, the secret worlds, the star worlds. It's just, it's so good. Different colored Yoshis. It was so great. And I even remember, I'll always remember this game with Hurricane Andrew, because I remember I got this system and this game maybe 2 weeks before Hurricane Andrew, and I remember playing it as much as I could before the hurricane came. And when it did come, it tore up Miami, and we had no power for a good maybe 3 weeks, I want to say. And every day I was like, oh my god, when's this power coming back so I can play this game? It was torture. But this is the game to get. It's the game that defined Super Nintendo, in my opinion. It's a game that defined platforming, platforming type gaming, and it'll always go down as probably my favorite game. And those were my 5 Super Nintendo games. I don't have my Super Nintendo anymore. I had it, and I had all the games, and I sold them. I don't know why, but I have them on my computer still, so I can play them anytime. But I hope you enjoyed my top 5 Super Nintendo games, and please subscribe again to my videos. That'd be awesome. And take care. Have a good Friday.